So I start my lecture and keep a copy in front of you so that when I am discussing the output question, parallel you are solving in your notebooks. So first of all, I am starting with the MySQL table. This is a sample paper of 2019. Sample paper of the year 2019. This is the table and the name of table is student. I hope it is clearly visible to everybody. Fine. We have roll number field, name field, class, date of birth, gender, city, and marks. Actually, this question in the sample paper of 2019 is divided into two portions. In the first portion, they have given 3 commands for which you have to find the output from the table. In the next section, they have given 4 commands for which you are to write the MySQL command. 4 statements have been given for which you are supposed to make MySQL queries, right? So I start with the first command. Select count star comma city from student, group by city having count star more than 1. Group by means you have to create a group, but here the group is on the basis of the city, and this is my city column. We have to count the total occurrence of each city. We have to count the total occurrence of each city in the table student, right? So the output will be, for the first command, output will be, we have first Agra. Agra is coming only one time. So we are not going to take into consideration Agra because condition has also been given over here that your occurrence of the value should be more than 1. Should be more than 1. Right? So Agra occurrence is just 1. So condition is not applied over here. So we are not going to take Agra in our answer. Moving towards Mumbai. Mumbai occurrence is twice. So definitely we are going to cover it. Mumbai, and its occurrence is 2. Next, Delhi. Delhi is again occurring twice. So our next answer will be Delhi. Third, Moscow. Moscow is again occurring twice. So our next answer will be Moscow. The left is Dubai. Dubai is occurring only once. So we are not going to take into consideration. So this is the first answer. Am I clear up till here? Am I clear with this answer? Next, select. Nikhil has raised hand. Yes, Nikhil.
सर ये जो डिस्प्ले होंगे जैसे मुंबई, दिल्ली, मॉस्को, ये कोई पर्टिकुलर ऑर्डर होएगा कि रैंडम?
Yes, the order will be the order which is given in the query. The order of the field will be the order that is given in the query. Count star, then city. Right?
Okay. नहीं सर, मतलब जैसे दिल्ली पहले आएगा या मुंबई बाद में, ऐसे?
That is not so important.
Okay, sir.
Select max DOB, min DOB from student. You are to find the maximum date of birth and minimum date of birth from table student. So the highest year is 95, but 95 is coming so many times. So we are to see the month, the highest month, 6th month, 8th month, 10th, 12th. So 12th month of 1995 with the date 8th. This is going to be the highest date. So maximum date of birth, it will be 08/12/1995, right? And now shifting to the minimum date. Minimum date will be the least year, that is 1993, 07/05/1993. This is going to be the minimum date of birth. Moving to the next command. Select name, gender from student where city equal to Delhi. We are to select name and gender from the table student where city equal to Delhi. So Delhi is here. Sanal, gender is female. So first entry is Sanal and gender is female. For the next entry, store, male. The name is store and male, right? So two candidates are there who are having city Delhi, right? So both the candidates will be coming into our answer, right? Am I clear with all the concepts? Fiza, are you here in the class? Fiza, are you here in the lecture? Yeah, please take attendance also and send it to me. Moving to the next question. Now we are to make the commands. Now here we are to make the commands to display the records from table student in alphabetical order as per the name of the student. Select star from student, order by name, semicolon. Right? We are to do the ordering in alphabetical order, right? So our order by clause will take the field name as the base, and our command is select star from student, order by name. Next command. To display class, date of birth and city whose marks is between 450 and 551. In between operator, remember one thing in MySQL, both the values are inclusive. 450 and 551, both the values are inclusive. So this will become select class, comma, date of birth, comma, city from student where marks between 450 and 551, semicolon. Am I thoroughly clear up till here? 12th class? Gaganjot, Karthik, Jasjot, Fiza, Harsimran, Rana. Am I thoroughly clear, बच्चे? Manav, Mihir, Mayank, Navneet, Om, Kirat. Am I clear up till here, beta? That's nice. Moving to the next command. Now see here carefully. See this command very carefully because here you are to apply group by clause. To display name, class and total number of students who have secured more than 450 marks class wise. To display name, class, and total number of students who have secured more than 450 marks class wise. Means our base, our criteria should be class wise, but condition has also been given to you that marks should be above 450. So command will be select name, comma class, right, comma count star, because we are to find the total occurrence. So count bracket asterisk will be our aggregate function that we will be considering while calculating the total number of students. From student group by class having marks more than 450. Whenever you are taking group by clause, make one thing very clear in your brain. You will never take the where clause, you will take having clause. With the group by command, we never take the where clause, we take the having clause, because having clause is applied to the entire group, where clause is applied to the individual rows or records. Next, to increase the marks of all students by 20 whose class is 12th. So again, now right here we are to increase the marks. So whenever we want to make any modifications in the table, in the record of the table, we will be taking update command. Update student set marks equal to marks plus 20 where class equal to 12th. Whenever you are to increase the marks, you are to make any change in the existing record, you will always take update command, update table name, set keyword. This is the keyword, marks equal to marks plus with whatever amount you want to increase the marks, then where clause and the condition. Thoroughly clear? MySQL question is thoroughly clear to everybody? Ananta, Kriti, Tanish, Avneet. That's very nice. Okay. Now I shift over to the function output questions. The first output question I'm going to show in front of you. Yeah. This is the first output question based on the function concept. And here I'll be solving the working notes. I give you 1 minute. Carefully go through the question, and it will be very nice if you people keep a copy in front of you. Parallel to me, try to solve the question. It will be a very good practice if parallel to me, you also solve the question. Whenever you are to solve the output question, I have told you many times, always start from the main segment. This is the main segment, because this command is not in the indentation area of the function. The commands which are indented inside the function, only they are the part of function block. The commands which are not indented, they are not part of the function. So in the first instance, we are calling the function cal. We have given a call to the function cal. Many times I use this word calling a function. Calling is also known by another name, invoke. You can say call or you can say invoke. Invoke means call only. Calling a function or invoking a function is one and the same thing. Don't get confused with these two words. They are interchangeable terms. Let us start with the working notes. We have one list in which we are having 4 values, 20, 50, 30 and 40. So I am giving the index 0 to 20, 0, 1, 2 and 3. At 0 we have 20, then we have 50, then we have 30 and then we have 40, right? Next we have a variable count CNT whose initial value is 3. Then we have a variable total whose initial value is 0. Then we have a for loop and the looping variable is C, and C will have 4 values, 7, 4, 5, 6. C variable, which is the looping variable, is going to have these 4 values. Let's start the working. TXT of CNT. CNT initial value is 3. So text of 3 means 40. Because at third index we have 40. So T will have the value 40. The first value which T will have is 40. Now, in the next statement, we have convert our value of T into float type. So it becomes, it was a string type. Initially it was a string. Now it has become of type float. Now it has become of type float plus C. C initial value is 7. So 40.0 plus 7, it will give the result 47.0. 47.0. What actually is happening in the code? The last value of the list, we start from the last value of the list, we convert the value into float, and we add it with the first value of the for loop. How many of you have understood this line? If you have understood, you might be knowing the other answers. Other answers are now clearly getting into your brain. So next answer will be, we are picking 30. Now see here, print total. Total is printed. The first answer is 47.0. Count minus 1. Count was 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So now we are focusing on the second value of index, which is 30. So 30 will be converted to float, and 30 will be added with the next value of C. So it will become 35. It will become 35.0. Then next, count again decremented by 1. Count has become 1. At 1 we have value 50. 50 will be stored in T. 50 will be converted to float and will be added with the next value of C, which is 4. So it becomes 54.0. Up till here, if I am clear, please raise your thumb. Very fine. Now, at the last stage, we have count minus 1. 1 minus 1, 0. So at 0, we have 20. 20 is stored in the variable T. 20 is converted to float type. It becomes 20.0 and it is added with the last value of C, that is 6. So it becomes 26.0. So this is your final answer. I show you in the output window also. Check it out. Clear? Thoroughly clear? First output question is thoroughly clear. I move on to the next output question. Yeah, this is the next output question. You might have solved this question in 11th also, I guess, but I have modified it in the form of function this time. So we are going to solve this question via concept of functions. Now, in this question, I have the function result and I invoke that function. When I enter in this function body, I found one list with the name data. I found one list with the name data and it is having the following values. I just give the indexing to each value so that we can start our question. At first we have letter P, then we have a number, then again we have a letter R, then we have value 10, then again we have string S, then we have 30. Right? Next we have times variable with the value 0. Alpha, it is an empty string. The variable alpha is an empty string. Then I have a variable add with the value 0 initially. Now we are starting the for loop and the looping variable is C in range 1, 6, 2. Now what does this mean? We are to start from first value. We are to start from first value. We are to move till fifth value, 1 less than. But we have to skip. Every time we have to make a jump of 2. This is the initial value. This is the maximum limit. In for loop, you know 1 minus limit. Whatever the highest limit is, you go one step less. So we will be going up till 5, but we have to make a jump of 2. So after 1, we'll be having 3. After 3, we'll be having value 5. Am I clear? Let's start. Times plus C. Times value is 0 and C initial value is 1. C initial value is 1. So times value become 1. This is the first stage. This is the first stage. Time is 1. Next, alpha empty string plus data of C minus 1. The value of C is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. C minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So data of 0 is P. Data of 0 is P. P is added with the dollar and it becomes P dollar. So the value of alpha becomes P dollar. P dollar. Right? Then add. Add is 0. Data of C. The value of C is 1. Data of 1 means 20. Data of 1 means 20. So add will be 0 plus 20. So it becomes 20. Now print times, add and alpha. So first answer is times is 1, add is 20, then P dollar. This is our first answer. Am I clear up till here? Am I clear up till here, everybody? Now moving to the second stage, I rub it off. Now we are shifting in the second stage. Second stage, 1 plus 2, 3. Now the value of C will be 3 times initial value was 1. Time was updated in the previous stage by 1. So 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3. The new value of time is 4. Alpha was P dollar. Initial value of alpha was P dollar. Plus data of C minus 1. C is 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. At the index 2 we have R. So it becomes P dollar, R dollar. P dollar, R dollar. This is the new value of alpha. Add. What was the updated value of add in the previous index, previous stage? It was 20. So 20 will continue plus data of C. C value is 3. At 3 we have 10. So 20 plus 10. It will be 30. So next answer is time is 4. Add 30. P dollar, R dollar. P dollar, R dollar. Am I clear up till here? 12th. Next, we are entering the third stage. At third stage, we have the value of C with a jump of 2, it becomes 5. Earlier value was 3. Now we make a jump of 2 and the value becomes 5. What was the value of times in the previous stage? 4. So times is 4 plus C. C value is 5. So time becomes 9. The new value of times is 9. Alpha was P dollar, R dollar. This was the value at the second stage. We will continue this value. Alpha plus data of C minus 1. 5 minus 1, 4. At 4 we have S. So it becomes S dollar. The new value of alpha is P dollar, R dollar, S dollar. Let us shift to the variable add. Add initial previous value was 30 plus data of C. The value of C is 5. At 5 we have 30. So it becomes 30 plus 30. It becomes 60. So new values are 9, 60, P dollar, R dollar, S dollar. Now at here for loop terminates. For loop terminates. Now when for loop terminates, our question breaks. We came back from where we call, and this is our final answer. This is our final answer. Am I clear? I show you the output also. You can check it out. Now I start with the third question. Now here we have a string based question. This is my main segment. I have invoked a function test, and whatever value will be returned by this function, it will get stored in the variable text2, and the variable text2 will get printed. And the variable text2 will get printed, right?